Click, click. The sound of turning gears stopped again, and behind the slowly opening door, a calm voice began to speak.
She's gone.
Flecks of light drifted in the endless darkness, and the stairs slowly retreated. It looked as if nothing had happened, yet it was also as though something was silently waiting for a certain tomorrow to come.
The future is far away, but it will eventually come.
Helios didn't say anything, but stood still, looking toward the end of the stairs.
Are you afraid?
The man in the darkness ventured again, yet Helios let out a laugh.
No matter how difficult it is, she will find a way for everyone to see tomorrow. What is there to be afraid of?
His voice softened at the end, betraying the fear hidden deep in his heart. The girl's face slowly appeared in his mind. He suddenly remembered how she bravely came close to him in the world of eternal winter, gritted her teeth to face all the unknowns, and he remembered every moment she lit up for him. He always believed that she could make the right choice and let the end meet the future. It's just that. A vague laugh floated from the darkness. Helios released the palm he had just unconsciously clenched and turned to look at the scattered flecks of light.
I just want to know one thing.
He gently raised his hand, and the flecks of light fluttered between his fingertips like lost stars in the night.
That uncontrollable future. Is that the future of this world?
The distant voice seemed to sigh.
What do you think the world is like?
Helios didn't respond.
The innumerable choices made by mankind converge into all the world's nets, which extend endlessly into the future.
He paused.
But the future will come to an end. This is the conclusion that countless civilizations have proven again and again through the cycle of destruction and resurrection. It's slowly moving forward, but it appears to be returning to a certain point of origin.
Destruction.
Helios looked up and uttered this word in disbelief.
This world was supposed to end today, but a new possibility has emerged.
While Helios was still trying to figure out what that meant, the voice continued.
This possibility gives her the ability to choose the right path and move the world beyond truth and common sense.
Helios frowned slightly and immediately grasped the key information from those words.
You mean there will be even more unimaginable changes in the future?
That's a question I cannot answer.
The sound of the turning gears started up again, and the man's voice seemed tired and faded away into the darkness like a final hint.
The world has made its choice, and it will not stay this course. It will continue to move forward to witness the future. No matter what shape or form this future may take to present itself to mankind, it is still your future and the future of this world.
There was a hint of expectation and scrutiny in his voice.
The future you, like her of course, will come from who you are today.
From the dome in the Great Hall, the light of approaching comets could be seen. The people at the round table were especially quiet, and they all looked at Helios as he walked in, as if they were all awaiting his final answer.
It's too early to prepare for the end of the world.
Helios walked to the front of the hall, but did not take a seat. He rested his hands gently on the round table, and his eyes seemed to be lit up by sparkles.
Everything goes according to plan. We have a lot to do in these final moments.
When everyone had left, Helios stood alone in the hall, looking up through the dome, and muttered,
It seems that the secret I can't tell you has some value after all.
Not a soul could be seen on the streets when the end of the world was at hand, let alone in this remote alley, where nothing remained but the rustle of wild cats digging through garbage at the far end. Kiro pushed down the brim of his hat and deftly made his way through the alleyways until a dim yellow light appeared before his eyes. On one side of the door, the name Moonlicht was written in small print like an ancient magical spell. He took one last look at the horizon, taking a deep and gentle breath, then pushed the door open with determined eyes.
Welcome.
The man behind the bar didn't seem to be surprised by this unexpected visitor. He was gracefully wiping a wine glass and greeted Kiro with a smile. Kiro quietly looked around and deftly took a seat by the bar.
2 hours until the end of the world. Would you like a drink?
The man smiled and shook the shaker in his hands.
You're still in business when the end of the world is coming?
Kiro put his hat on the bar and ignored the man's invitation.
My motto is that I would rather die standing up earning money than lying down bored and alive.
As if oblivious to his refusal, the man was still expertly handling the bottle.
I'm not here to drink.
You've tried so many times. Don't you give up?
A cold gleam flashed across Kiro's eyes, but only for a moment. He slowly smiled as if he was reminded of something.
I have no reason to give up.
The man neatly put down his ounce glass and sighed.
Well, if you're so insistent, then I won't stop you. I'll call DeRay.
He placed the wine in front of Kiro, and with a smile, the light of the bright red liquid was reflected in the man's eyes, yet he seemed somewhat ruthless and indifferent.
Small business. Thanks for your support.
A month ago, Kiro found DeRay. Seeing DeRay again, he still had the urge to retch. Kiro sat on the sofa and clenched his palm hard, constantly forcing himself, like hypnosis in his heart, to prioritize his purpose. In a daze, he saw the girl, her face bathed in warm light. She reached out to him and called his name. The constant pain in his palm forced him to regain consciousness. He struggled to calmly raise his eyes to gaze squarely at DeRay, the first assistant of that experiment. Many years had passed since that distant and dark memory, and he was much older now. DeRay threw himself on his knees in front of Kiro in terror.
Please, don't kill me!
Kiro coldly looked at the trembling man kneeling before him.
If I wanted to kill you, I wouldn't have let you escape back then.
He gingerly caught the box Kiro threw to him. Seeing the sharp S emblem, he was so scared that he almost dropped it.
How did you get this? No, don't tell me.
DeRay shook his head and squeezed the box in his hand. He realized that Kiro was no longer test subject number 3648 from that year. DeRay looked down at the box.
What would you like me to do? Don't...
Kiro always knew that DeRay was the person most familiar with his physical data from that experiment, and naturally, he had enough ability to be the first assistant.
It's impossible.
I'm not here to listen to your nonsense.
Kiro interrupted him coldly.
You just have to work for me, don't you, Dr. DeRay's current boss?
The man at the bar heard Kiro's question, but he only nodded slightly with a smile and continued to fiddle with the glass in his hand. Gritting his teeth, DeRay clenched the box and finally let out a light breath.
I see. Boss, is the operating table on B4 still available?
The man conjured a mini console out of nowhere, then nodded his head. Despite the fact that it was covered in floral wallpaper, Kiro still badly rejected the laboratory. He made great efforts to force himself to lie down on the experiment table. Since then, he couldn't remember how many times he'd vomited or how many tubes he'd taken. DeRay frowned.
Just as I said, it's very difficult to make your abilities stronger.
He lowered his head.
The success of your experiment is not universal. Considering the collective interference of various trace factors, your body may be unable to withstand another experiment. In those days, your genes formed their own unique irregular structures under the catalysis of some special substance, which is absolutely different from ordinary people.
He pursed his lips and paused, struggling. He looked at Kiro, who was curled up on the experiment table.
And we're not sure whether this kind of conflict reaction will continue. It's impossible to estimate all the side effects. Why do you want to take such a big risk, since now you are fully capable?
It doesn't matter.
Kiro wiped the blood on his mouth and shakily sat up on the experiment table. The night mist kept rolling in, trapping him in the abyss. There were countless ferocious eyes scrutinizing him in the darkness. Standing in the bloody cage, he was no longer afraid.
You never get tired of going home for dessert every day?
Ever since Kiro once accidentally missed a dessert date, this man continually teased him about it from time to time. Kiro didn't answer him. Instead, he walked around the store several times to soothe his trembling feet.
Does it look normal?
The manager nodded.
Not bad. Did you finish early today?
There's a special performance today.
Kiro pushed down his hat to cover most of his face.
It's very important.
Kiro walked to B4 step by step. When he arrived at the laboratory, DeRay was already there, waiting for him.
We've tried many times. If we keep doing this, your body may...
It's okay.
He unwaveringly interrupted DeRay, and yet it seemed as though he was trying to convince himself too.
There was progress last time, wasn't there? Let's keep it up.
Kiro firmly walked to the laboratory. The whole world appeared to be nothing but endless white, and standing at the end of it all was the girl. He kept ordering himself to run toward her. It has always been this way. Even though the world was ending and there was very little time left, he would never give up. Kiro knew he had won the bet when he opened his eyes again. Even if he didn't have the strength to lift a finger, he still raised a satisfied and happy smile here for the first time. He couldn't remember how long he had been lying there, until he could finally prop himself up on his arms. He sat on the operating table, panting and attempting to unplug the infusion set attached to his arm with a look of disgust on his face.
It's better not to unplug that.
Kiro looked up and caught a glimpse of the manager, who smiled as always. Leaning up against the door, he held a cup of hot coffee in his hands. Kiro blinked and tilted his head.
What time is it?
Don't worry, it seems that the meteors haven't hit us yet.
The man extended his index finger and shook it, grabbing DeRay, who was just stopping by to check on Kiro.
Look at him.
Kiro breathed a sigh of relief and held his head in pain. DeRay ran to him immediately.
You just woke up. You need more observation.
Kiro snorted coldly. Then the microcomputer he had been carrying around rang abruptly. Holding his head, he tore off the infusion set and quickly limped on tiptoe, nearly falling over due to his excessive movements.
You can't move right now.
DeRay quickly stopped him.
Let me go.
Kiro pushed away DeRay's hands and leaned faintly against the wall. He turned on the computer, tapped the keyboard intermittently with stiff fingertips, and somberly looked at the screen.
You get out.
You can't use your abilities right now.
DeRay insisted on explaining to Kiro word by word.
We're not sure about the stability of your powers. Your body is too weak right now. If you use your enhanced ability right away, you might...
Get out.
Kiro's voice was cold and uncompromising.
But your body...
Excuse me?
The man drinking coffee off to the side smiled and waved a syringe.
Do you want help? It'll just hurt a little bit when injected. It's free, as a package gift.
Kiro stretched out his arm full of pinholes without hesitation.
Thanks.
After the injection, Kiro recovered a little. He leaned on the corner of the laboratory and gently closed his eyes. He could always hear her voice. Kiro slowly opened his eyes and saw himself in the mirror. He smiled unconsciously without a trace of fogginess. Since the world would not end, whatever happened next would become the future of tomorrow, and he must prepare for this unknown future. The golden light of his pupils reflected in the mirror like a gentle and powerful blessing, empowering those who surpass all obstacles to reach their goal. Even if it may be temporarily silent amid the drastic changes of the world, it would one day become a yardstick with which to guide the future, pointing to the only true end in one's heart, and finally meeting that long-awaited person.
I command you to be the only Kiro who is dazzling and brave, and to keep getting stronger. I command you to never forget her. Never. She is your Miss Chips. She is your favorite person.
The golden light diffused through the pupils and permeated every nerve ending and blood cell, melting into the brilliant white snow at the end of the world and forming the final agreement. The world was slowly shrouded by this seemingly gentle but unbreakable mist that was born from the bright white light. It penetrated the earth and extended outward in countless directions. On the recording chart filled with musical notes, the notes on the staff appeared to be placed upside down and gradually disappeared one by one. And all this happened in just a split second.